Hello, part two. Um, I woke up today morning and I was feeling kind of stressed, and I was like, okay, I feel like pensiving it all out is probably a good idea that I should, move forward with. Where mornings where I wake up where I'm just like, damn, like something's off. I know those days. I think maybe starting the day off doing this on a walk, I think is probably the best way to go about it. So first, let me talk about. I'm thinking about plans. So Um, it's right now, middle of April. I have a lot of work and I'll be busy April, May, and by the end of May, and definitely by June, almost like 10 to 12 hours of my work will be done. So I will be working maybe like 10, 11, 12 maybe hours a week. Calc work will be done, half my APCS work will be done. Um, I'll still have my research stuff and I'll still have a few students, but that's it. So I will have a lot more time than where I'm literally not working. I'm not doing anything at that point. So that will be for the months of June and July. At which point, end of July, you will be leaving. And so you will still have time in August where you're just chilling over in DC. You'll still be setting up and stuff, but so I need to kind of think what I'm going to be doing with that time. So here are my options. This research position, I'm really happy I got actually, because at least it looks like I did something with this time. But she's giving me okay amount of work. I guess like once she gives me work, I can go above and beyond and really spend a lot of time, doing things. But as of right now, she hasn't really been giving me a lot. So what it looks like might end up happening is, um, so here are the options I could do. So let's say I try to find a job. It wouldn't work because there'd only be 2 months of where I could actually be doing something, and unless someone hires for 2 months, I don't think it's worth me. That's not even, no one's going to do that. So, and I'm going to be road tripping. That's like 12 days or so in July. And yeah. So, what you could, okay, so that means you have to find something to do. So, let's say we're going to classes. I'm literally going to school. So, I don't know. I feel like taking classes is just kind of annoying. Just because it's like, I'm about to be spending the next, 2 years studying. So, it's like, I'm going to do all the classes there. So I'd like to maybe like work straight up on a project. I think that'd be fun. So that means I'd have to find something that I find noteworthy to study. So that would be fun actually. Like you find one education thing that you'd be interested and like do that on the side. Where you're like really trying to, do something dope. Um, you could learn HTML. That's always a useful skill I think that would be to have, especially when you're putting your data and putting all your stuff together. That would be cool. Um, but you have this podcast, so you have stuff to do with that. Um, but yeah, so I think, in terms of future plans, um, it's kind of open for at least the month of June and July. So, mix in with traveling, I think it should mostly work itself out, but I'll figure it out. Okay, so that was one thing that I was just kind of thinking about right now. I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Because I have April and May pretty booked out. I have all my plans. It's going to be pretty fun, exciting. So I got to, come up. I like coming up with plans because it gives me more structure. Um, so that's, so let me go. I mean, I'll just go into random tangents. So now I'll talk about, I'm coming up on the end of my third week here at Mama's house. And I would say these 3 weeks have been very, very mentally healthy for me. Like, I have, you know, developed for these 3 weeks, which is not, 6 months, which is what you eventually need to hit. In these 3 weeks, tons of good habits. Brushing my teeth, flossing every day at night. Sleeping 10:30 to 11 most nights. Eating 3 meals without watching TV. Reading every day, walking every day, spending time just enjoying life, like being on my phone less, not masturbating, like so many, like routine, schedule, like all the things that I think will help me accomplish a lot, I think I did here. And so I am going to continue that past just these 3 weeks, because that is something I'm definitely gonna have to. The no masturbation thing has saved me so much time. I'm literally starting a podcast because I have all the time that I would have been masturbating to do that. An entire endeavor because of that. Like, it's crazy. Like, if I had spent 30 to 45 minutes masturbating every day, I would not have the creative energy to be like, let's do a podcast, to channel that energy somewhere. And so, like, this whole podcast has only been created from that. So, I don't know, like, it's big. So, I want to keep it up, and I will keep it up. I just gotta. So, let's talk about that. So, let's talk some of the things I've learned from these 3 weeks of not masturbating. I've really been able, and this happens every time, like, I'm able to, like, catch moments where I do get horny before I actually act on it. I've been able to, like, catch that. And so whether it's through breathing, getting up, go and do something, exercising every day, I've been able to, like, try to channel it through something else where I'm not just kind of, you know, how it was before, where you're just like, oh, never mind, I'm done. So I think the hardest time for me nowadays, once I move back home or whatever, will be nighttime. I have to figure out a way to just grind so hard all day that by nighttime you're just, like, done. Like, you're just constantly doing something. By nighttime you're just like, I'm ready to crash. But it's helpful having roommates and things like that, just because it keeps your mind, like, straight. Like, you're not, like, all Willy Wonka about your thoughts. So, like, sleeping with my parents, like, that'd be dope. Like, maybe I'll just sleep in my parents' room. Like, that could be fun. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll tell my parents I'm gonna sleep in their room, and I just gotta sleep earlier to do that. Okay, so why don't we try that when we go there? And so, yeah, so as well, I guess I didn't talk about this last time I shared stuff. I am starting a podcast with Mylan, which I'm so excited. Like, I really think, like, that is gonna be the masterpiece of what I do in my life. Like, at least as of right now, like, I think the conversations that Mylan and I have, they, like, sum up my thoughts, and they push me forward. They not only leave me with my own thoughts, but they give me thoughts that move me to another direction. I think he is really good about that. So I'm excited for that. And so another thing I've been good with here is, and I think my beard represents this for me, like, self-love. Like, how much do I love myself? The longer my beard, to me, it represents, like, how far have I been in a state of I don't give a fuck about what other people think. And so, like, when it's short, what that says about me is I just had a brief moment of weakness where I cared too much about what the people around me thought, so I cut it. That's the only reason I would cut it. It's never a self reason. It's never because, like, I want to cut it. And so usually because, like, oh, I want to cut it because I want these other people to find me more attractive, or I want to fit in. It's never, like, on my own premonition. So that's what long hair and big beard means to me. So the long hair I cut only because it was so itchy and the braids were not it. So that's okay. That's fine. And so I do think it's important to appreciate the cycles of change in life. So constantly, having a deadline, be like, every 2 years I'm going to cut my hair. Having, like, some sort of, like, cycle, like a cyclic nature in those type of activities really, like, keeps you locked into the idea that you can't get too attached to something. So yeah, so that was cool. So in terms of, like, next steps for my life, like, I think, look, like, if in this whole 1 year, if at the very least the one thing you get out of 1 year of work is you no longer masturbate, this year would have been the most useful year of my life. It doesn't even matter. Like, that one change will set up so much success for me. It frees up years of time. Years of time, years of thoughts, like, everything. So that's why I keep coming back to that, because for me, like, if I'm going to spend 1 year self-growth, traveling, all this, you got to really hone in on the qualities you feel like are stopping you the most. Before it was smoking, before it was drinking, before all these other things. So I fasted. I think, like, fasting once every 3 weeks or 2 weeks is really good for you, mindset, body, everything. So I think that's something I want to continue doing. But this masturbation thing, I think if you can get on top of it, which is why you talk about it every podcast. You talk about it so much because it's the one thing that really like I think it's a very obvious step forward for you. It's like, imagine in your career, they're like, okay, if you do these three things, you will get a promotion. That's literally what it is. You know, it's like if I get that down, my life will improve. So I just have to do it, you know, and I've done a great job. 18 days or 19 days today, I think. Like, big difference just in energy. But now I have to like transmute it into something positive. Like, could push, and which is what that podcast is, which is what my dedication to working out these last few weeks have been. Like, definitely all fuel from that, you know. So let's see. So in terms of what you can do better, you can definitely be more grateful. And, you know, at least the way you've been living these last 2 weeks has been perfect. So how you can do better from these 3 weeks, which is not how I've been in other places. You barely been watching TV. I watch maybe like 20 minutes like every other day, you know. Like, the last couple of days I watched the South Park episode, but like barely any TV. Like, you've been wasting almost no time on social media. If you don't have social media, but no time, like even like hopping on Miraj's Twitter or something like that. Like, you've just spent no time looking at any social media, really. Barely any time on YouTube. You've been listening to tons of podcasts. Like, really good month for me in terms of the person I want to be, you know. So just using this inertia to keep going. I've been reading so much, like, you know, really just filling myself in with new knowledge, new information all the time, like becoming just, I don't know. So in those aspects, I think I'm doing good. So in order to elevate that, I have to pinpoint and hone in on things that I'm not doing. So let's think. I mean, sometimes you don't even know what you're not doing, but I think meditating, you were doing a good job in the first week, but you stopped doing that. So I think you can meditate more again. Eating wise, you've been doing good. Exercising wise, sleeping wise. I think the habits are now in place for you to succeed. Now you just have to go find that thing you love, you know, which you have. So just hone in and go hard, I guess. Stay hard, David Goggins. So I do want to do that, actually. Eventually have a wall full of all the people that are inspirational to me and just sketch them or something. I think it would look kind of cool. We'll do that in DC. So yes, so I'm going to physical therapy tomorrow. I'm excited to get some new workouts for my legs and stuff, because I want to start playing a lot of basketball once I'm back at DC. I think that will help me. That's one activity I think will benefit my life and my lifestyle and my mental health and everything significantly. So I think that's a good one to do. Just got to take care of your legs. That's it. And I think no drinking, no smoking, like hard. I think I found more benefit in that zone, but it's hard because like sometimes it's like drinking that really allows you to live life better, in that like you realize how shitty it could be, and then you know the come up that feels good, but like the balance is hard. I don't know what my balance should be like. Like only wine, like then it gets addicting. It's addicting. I can't talk to people without it. It gets addicting. That's a problem. It's like you start drinking, and all of a sudden it's more fun to do everything drunk. So then you start drinking everywhere, and it's like fuck. It's really hard to be like, okay, I'm only gonna drink once a month and then stick to that. But maybe that's not too hard. Once a month, like pick a date you're drinking that month and just drink that one day. I think that is a good balance. Maybe that's the move. Once a month, pick a day, boom. Smoke. I don't even like smoke. I don't like getting sick from smoking. I don't fuck with smoking. Fuck smoking. So yeah, maybe you could pick one day a month to drink, and then drink that one day. That's a good idea. Okay, I like that. I like that. Okay. Um, so let's think about what's next. So in terms of work, I think you have, good amount of things going on. Like, I think I'm getting LASIK, which is gonna be crazy in a couple months. I don't know if it'll really benefit my life. I was actually thinking about it. I think I'll still go back to a place like equilibrium where I'm like, all right, this is just norm. So I guess it's a waste, but whatever. So it goes. Let me just increase my life quality and then get used to it. But what do I not have in life that could make my life better is the question. You know, at this point I have everything. It's all just in the mental. Like, my only battle with life now is mentally. There is nothing that is physical that I need to improve for my life to have more meaning, or, you know, everything is there. Family is there, friends are there, money is there, health is there. You know, like, at this point it's just, how does my mental change against what I see in the world? Am I more less like judgmental? Am I less like critical of random things, hateful? Like, that's all that can change now. You know, I can very tiny improve the I can improve the physical world for others, but not really for myself. Um, but I can create more. That I can for sure do. That's why I think this podcast is going to be huge for me. Like, I think being back in that space, I was listening to the Helen Keller one. That one was fire, bro. Fire. I think that was my best one. I'm most proud of that Helen Keller one. Like, it was concise. It was all really interesting information. I looked good. The setting was good. The mic was good. Everything was good. Like, that podcast, I think, was my favorite for sure. Like, good work. That one made me proud to be like, damn, I did that. So apart from that, let's see. I think I want to talk about one more thing that just slipped my mind. Overall, man, I'm actually very proud of you, especially 18 days masturbation. Like, sitting there and being grateful about that, I think is big, because, like, that's a long time, dude. Like, I don't think I've almost never gone this long except for San Diego. But even San Diego, I was, like, you know, messing around a lot. Like, I don't think really this mental space I'm in now was accomplished when I was in San Diego. But we'll see. The big test is when I leave this house, you know. How will I continue then? If I can continue this inertia then, oh my God, that would be amazing, man. Good for me. But we'll see. And then, yeah, so we talked a little bit about work, you know. Let's just brainstorm right now, because I got time. I'm still walking home. June, July, 2 months. You got 2 months of time, and you have to figure out, you know, like, what exactly you're going to do, right? So, what does that look like to you? 2 months. So you can take it in many ways. So let's say, even if I just, like, read a shit ton, then, like, the thing is, look, sometimes I balance between, like, looking like I'm successful to others versus what I really actually want to fucking do. I could spend those 2 months doing anything. I could just fucking travel. Like, I have enough money stored, saved up from the last couple months of working, that I could just fucking travel and not work at all. It would dip into my savings hard, but I could. But needless to say, let's say I don't do that. Let's say I don't just travel and not work. For why, I don't know. But okay, May is gonna be fun as hell, because you're going to San Diego, Santa Barbara, you're going to Vegas. Like, May is booked. So May is about to be litty. And then at the end of May, you're going to Mexico City, and then you're coming back, and the next weekend you're going to UOP or Stockton and chilling there for a weekend. And then you're coming back, and then you're getting LASIK, and then that 1 month will be there. So June 15th to July 15th is basically the 1 month where you're actually doing nothing. So in that 1 month, you could definitely start hooping again, you know, but more than that, you'll be back in the Bay in Fremont. So at that point, you learn something or do something where you get some value out of it, just because it's beneficial for your fucking life. So, like, for example, if I could in 1 month get, I'm just kidding, but I'm just saying 1 month if I could get a realtor's permit, or if I could get, like, CPR train certified, or if I could get some certification or something where it's like, it's a useful benefit to you just for life, like, I think that'd be dope. Some trade school, like working with a mechanic, like learning how the fuck cars work, or like working at Raj's store for a week and just helping out just because you're trying to understand how it is. That would be interesting too, you know. Like, maybe that's a move. Maybe in that month you can go work at Raj's store and just volunteer. Like, because you got time and you wanted to learn how some stuff works in the store. That would be interesting.